We meet again in the same place, except I can't wait for when you're in some random house for some reason later.
The soldiers rose up against one another. They say it's because of that bull in the lot.
And what do you want? Forgot something? Someone wants you dead, Artemy Brooke. Tell me, what do you intend to do now? Are you the harbinger of my death? Well, that won't make me change my plans. I'm going to the abattoir. Foreman Oyen is waiting for me for the final trial. I don't expect to survive it anyway. But you have promised to help, haven't you? Who, me? One of us is an idiot, right? Definitely not me. You've been here, and say you know what trickery the foreman has prepared for me. You've promised you'll be waiting where the foreman will have told me to go, and help me defeat him. What did Foreman Oyen tell you yesterday? I want to ask the foreman about the mysterious concealment in the ritual of bovine sacrifice. I feel I have no other way to access those mysteries than by taking the foreman's place. Oyen will not give up his power without a fight. We're going to fight to the death. You think Foreman Oyen is one of the bound? Doubtlessly. He is a bad man, isn't he? I suspect he's a double-crossing murderer and usurper. That's why I can wish death upon him with a clear conscience. No, I don't want anyone to die. And I need Oyen alive, too. I'm going to see him. You change your plans quickly. A short while ago, you were much more bloodthirsty. I'll waste no time. My destiny awaits me in the abattoir. I'm going to face it with an open heart. Wait until the day ends. We'll see each other at the abattoir. Brooke says I should bring him the head of the foreman. No, he didn't. That's not what he said at all, you liar. What the fuck? Am I crazy? That's not what that conversation said at all. But he is one of my bound, right? Yep, all the way down at the bottom. The foreman of the abattoir. What was going on there? That seemed like almost like a mistranslation or some kind of mistake or a gap. Or maybe a part of the story changed at the last minute and that part wasn't updated. Because very clearly the story said, the Haruspeck said that he was going to face off in a battle to the death against the foreman, but also that the foreman's going to has some kind of trick up his sleeve and he's going to try to mess with the Haruspeck. So the Haruspeck was working with the Changeling, the other copy of me apparently, to subvert whatever that trick is, which is exactly what happened in my playthrough of the Haruspeck's campaign. The Changeling rescues the foreman, the Haruspeck from a death trap, and then he goes on to do his death match against the foreman after that. So that all checks out. That conversation all largely made sense, but this is verifying that the one who helps the Haruspeck was the other Changeling apparently, because my Changeling has no idea what's going on right now. I don't need lockpicks anymore. So then my Changeling's like, no, the foreman's one of my bound. I have to keep him alive. So now I'm running off to go figure out how to keep the foreman alive because he's one of my bound. So like that'll make, is that going? Oh, that got him right in the face. I'm just gonna stand over here for a second. Are you gonna kill that rat? You're not gonna kill that rat. Please don't burn me to death. Excuse me. So I'm running off to meet with the abattoir. Go to the abattoir to meet up with the foreman because he's one of my bound, so I need him to live, which means I need to stop this whole plan that involves killing him to take his place, as the Haruspeck has put it. Where canonically in the Haruspeck campaign, the foreman loses the death match and is presumably dead at that point. But then I think he wasn't counted as one of Clara's bound in that playthrough, so she was still able to go there at the end anyway. What time is it? 3 o'clock. I did some extra sleeping at one point just to heal up, knowing that the passage of time doesn't usually have consequences. I was hoping to have letters, but I still don't. Yeah. Not yet. But yeah, the Changeling said one thing, the Haruspex said another thing. Because the Haruspex is like, I'm going to have to defeat him, help me subvert his trick. And then the Changeling is like, no, I can't let him die, he's one of my bound. And then the quest update says, the Haruspex has commanded me to bring him the foreman's head. I'm like, what? I don't think that's a valid interpretation of that quest. That's also not what's going to happen, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk to him and find some way to keep him alive or something, because he's one of my bound, right? I'd hope. I mean, I need to find some way to keep him alive, because that's how you get the endings. And seeing Clara's ending is the whole point of getting to this, is I want to see that ending cutscene that's unique to her. As far as I can tell, the Bachelor and the Haruspex... Oh wait, no, you can pick Clara's ending. I think you can, right? I think you can pick Clara's ending as the other characters. It just doesn't really make sense to me because the Clara doesn't explain her choice at all. But now that I'm her, I can see what her ending is finally.
Yes.
I bow to thee, mistress. You have come to take my life. I am prepared to sacrifice it.
Did you call me mistress?
Warden Burke and Oyen Reuben have told me of your miracles. She who can turn the blood of the children of Suok into the blood of Bos Primigenius is worthy of being titled our mistress.
So you're prepared to give your life? Why?
If you transformed my blood with your hands, I'll part without regret with the life I have lived and tainted. Let the good that comes out of my death give the meaning to my wasted life.
Why do you say so?
I say what I say and do what I do because I, Oyen, have failed to perform the right and to carry the burden I took upon myself. I am not worthy of living. Many among the bound would tell you the same.
Many?
Yes. When they have agreed to give you their blood for transformation into the panacea, the kin will help you put that blood to use. You will have at your disposal the skills of the butchers, of all who knows the lines, and the abattoir itself, Suok's womb. Burke will not oppose it.
What makes you sure they'll agree?
A mistress needs not ask. They have already accepted their fate. Let them serve their lady, the mistress of the humble. If you find several of such bound, who won't resent having to give up their meaningless lives, you will create enough vital humors to keep the town alive. Do you agree to take and transform my blood?
Yes, if it is your desire. What is the outcome here? Finally, the lines did meet. The first of the fallen bound ones, the monstrous foreman who won't hesitate to give his life, has recognized the mistress of Earth in me. He is willing to sacrifice himself for the possibility of a miracle. I can return to Burke now. I have freed the subterranean throne for him. That does greatly simplify things, doesn't it? No trickery happens, no death match. What? Burke's right here. Hi.
Slow and steady wins the race.
I've talked to the foreman. You need to hear this. He is resigning and will soon hand his powers over to you.
Did you make him do it?
Yes.
Why did he do it?
Because everyone has a preordainment to fulfill. Yours is to preside over the kin. You've turned out to be much more powerful than I thought.
Why did you do this?
Tell me what you're intending to do, Burke.
I must make a blood sacrifice, but I haven't settled on one yet. I don't know who it was meant to be, but I must decide. That moment is probably inevitable, and it will come soon.
You are a slave to the inevitable, Baruch, while I am its mistress. Tell me what your intentions are and I'll help you. I only want one thing, and that's to heal the town. The destruction of the polyhedron was necessary, seeing as I never hoped I would defeat the foreman. But that wasn't what happened, so what now? I know how to make a panacea out of blood and herbs. The trouble is that the right blood is very rarely found in nature. You shouldn't hate this town. It's beautiful. It hasn't lost its bond with the earth. It combines incompatible things. Different eras linger in it alongside each other. There are no towns like this anymore, and there'll hardly ever be again. Take heart. I'll give you blood that is like the blood you seek. Where are you going to get it from? Ask Stock Reuben about it. Yes, that sounds true enough. I believe you. What would you have me do? Promise me that when you become head of the kin, you'll help me by creating as much panaceas as will be needed to contain the disease. If this will save my town, I hereby agree. Tomorrow I'll be able to back it up with arguments for Aglaia. She must submit a report on the decision reached in order to avoid being executed. Is that so? Yes. Go tell Aglaia. Let her in on your plan. I think she'll accept it. Alright, I'll do it. And so it ends, right? My plan will come to fruition. I was capable of taming the demons, even though their hatred for each other remains. I can return to Aglaia Lilich now. She is... That's the miracle, basically, that the Changeling weaves, is that this game is constantly a series of two opposing forces that seem like they will inevitably destroy each other with no exception and no out. And the Changeling, who herself is a contradiction and herself is two things that are warring with each other, she finds the middle ground for everyone. She manages to keep her duplicate sister copy thing safe while also stopping it from infecting districts by always shooing it away, but never actually doing anything to stop it. She stops the Haruspecs and the Bachelor from killing each other chapter to chapter to chapter. And if her ending does as it promises to do, she stops either the town or the polyhedron from being destroyed, maintaining both instead. She's the secret hidden option. It's like in an RPG when you're given a good option and a bad option, or two mutually exclusive options at least, where one thing will prosper and the other thing will suffer, and you're given the choice of which one to do. As often happens, like Dragon Age Origins, for example. She's the mysterious third option that is sometimes available, because you'd have just enough points put into persuasion or charm or charisma, or you just did just the right thing where you found the right object in a previous area of the game, or you kept certain combinations of characters alive, creating an entirely new third option and stuff like that. Like that, she's the equivalent of that version where the impossible outcome happens, and basically you're given a clear choice of two options, and she's almost like the cheat in that a completely different thing becomes available instead, and you go with that. I'm gonna go back to my house and sleep to get the letters that tell me to find the Bachelor and the Haruspecs again. I don't know if there's consequences for not doing those quests. It might just give you some supplies that I don't need. But I just, you know, I do every quest, generally, if I can. I probably missed some when I was the Bachelor, because I just understood the game less back then. But I don't intentionally skip quests, at the very least. Especially when We're the Changeling with such sparse days that I have so much time to do these quests in. Like, it's frankly so easy to do every quest. Probably enough. Let's just do 4 hours for now. Should give me plenty of time to go searching real quick. Yeah, I have about 20 minutes to find them. Oh. Hmm. Maybe not. I'm a little worried. You might have to finish the daily quest first. And then after you finish the daily quest, then maybe the trigger is possible for them to show up. Let's not skip forward needlessly yet. Alright, Aglaia.
You have fulfilled your purpose. Now be gone. This world doesn't need you any longer.
Inquisitor Aglaia Lilich. I have a better solution than the one suggested by the Haruspecs and the Bachelor. Now I know it for certain. It all fits. Well now, say what you have to say, instrument of the law. There's a way to preserve the town. It's hard to believe, but I'm certain of it. The disease will continue to exist too, but it will become completely harmless. It will be tamed, just like smallpox. I'll do this with my hands. I'm going to stay here. We can inoculate people, and people will survive. I don't understand yet. Dr. Rubin has conducted a scientific study. He has ascertained that the plague hasn't killed Simon Kane after all. Simon's blood contained corpuscles that had made the disease harmless. When I heal someone with my hands, their blood becomes like that too. So you're going to cure everyone as they get infected? I wonder how you'll manage it with a population of many thousands at this rate of contagion, or the entire country's population if the disease escapes from the town. No, of course it won't be enough. All the more because the blood needs to be predisposed. But there are people with this kind of blood who've agreed to spend themselves entirely on vaccines for everyone else. I'll show them to you tomorrow. So you're saying you'll be able to maintain this fateful, this unnatural blend of even create a possibility for... Oh my god. It's further development through the periodic transformation of some townspeople's blood, with the subsequent slaughtering of these people after the manner of what was done to Simon. Yes, that's correct. Are you really imagining yourself a miracle worker? I can perform a miracle. No one else can, which is why no one else has thought of the same plan. Everyone believes miracles to be impossible. Another one. Another one. Nina was enough. She too used to sing about miracles, and ended up turning the town into a pagan altar. You'd like to set up a bloody conveyor line in which you hold the key position, right? I won't let that happen. But enough. No more of this talk. Why are you so blind? Another obsessed idiot dragging thousands of victims into the very same trap. No, enough. Help me destroy the polyhedron or leave the town at once, or else I'll have you executed. But why destroy when everything can be preserved? It's the powers that be who want to preserve everything. That's the reason there's an epidemic. Who do you think you are? You're no miracle worker. You are an avatar of the Sand Plague. Do you understand? But instead of acting as an honest instrument of the law, you have stolen the fate of another. That's why I'm a thief? That's why you're a thief. You're guilty of the theft of your own fate. You were never to try on this halo. It's as absurd as a hangman playing the miraculous researcher while the execution's already ongoing. Awesome. I'm giving you an hour to leave the town, you little scum. I'm banishing the plague from this place, thereby accomplishing my mission. Out. And don't you dare look for a protector. No one's going to help you now. We'll see.
There is an eternal order that fate itself has predetermined. It is due to this order that things happen the way they should, following a preordained path.
Yeah? What do you want? Nothing, except I've cleansed the Skinner's district. She does not care. She is not interested in rewarding me any further. Well, it's only 4:30. I got some time. Hello, sick boy. I don't have a ton of cures. We have I have 2 black vaccines and 5 schmouters and 0 panaceas. It's the end of day 11 and I have 0 panaceas. That's not great news. That said, my supply of panaceas and schmouters I feel like don't matter. If I'm gonna create a magic infinite cure for everyone I'm gonna preserve the town and preserve the polyhedron and cure everyone in the town. Based on that, making sure that every bound is safe on day 12 doesn't seem like it matters. Especially if mine are safe, so I can do my ending, which is already true because none of them get sick if you do the story missions. So based on that, as far as I can tell, even if I don't cure the bound of other people, they'll just be cured soon. Arguably, it's arguably unethical to cure any of them. I just realized I have the schmouter, but I shouldn't use the schmouter. Right? Is there not a final day quest? I'm trying to take it slow a little bit so I don't, like, skip too far ahead. I am not getting letters. I did that one already, right? Bone steak lot, yeah. I'm not getting these letters. Weird, right? It's day 12 now. I guess there wasn't a bachelor in Harrispeck's quest that day.
The most pressing endeavors of the day were fulfilled at the expense of several lives of your bound. A mime performance at the theater will feature today's events.
Wait, what? Wait, what? No. What? 1634. Did I make a manual save? Is that what I did? I think I forgot to finish. Maybe the quest wasn't over yet. Whoops. But yeah, I'm thinking like the schmouter supposedly cripples people for life, but I'm going to make infinite cures. So, like, I should use the schmouter to save my bound if necessary, but if all of them are fine, I should just let all these 5 schmouters just do nothing. I've essentially ripped a dangerous thing off the street so that nobody will use it. But I shouldn't use it on my own people either, because if I use it on, if I use it on the Harrispecks or Bachelor's people, they get crippled for life according to what the executor says. But my plan, my ending creates infinite cures, so everyone will just get the panacea. So I shouldn't give anyone the schmouter. This is the end. Aglaia commands me to leave the town at once, but why? What's wrong with my strategy? Is it because my plan answers the goals of the powers that be too well? What kind of inquisitor is she? She's nothing but a vengeful, malicious imposter. What can I do now but collapse at the feet of the commander and beg for protection? Oh, whoops. I should have read that quest. No major time lost. I was just so ready to start the final day. I'm getting all antsy. I'm getting all antsy because I'm like, oh my god, it's over. Somewhere in the ballpark of 150 episodes probably, but it's over. There's a few games that give it competition, but I believe that yes, this is the longest playthrough I've ever done on the channel without any DLC. I want to say that Zelda was like 120 episodes. I spent a lot of time with Breath of the Wild. It just has so much more map to explore though, so I gotta say that I felt the length of Breath of the Wild a lot less than this game. Because this game is me running across the same map. Which over the course of one campaign... Yeah, I think that's kind of the issue. Over the course of one campaign, zigzagging across the same map until you start to learn its layout and really understand where you're going. Like, that's the Metroidvania experience, or the Resident Evil Spencer Mansion experience, or so on. Like, spending a lot of time in an area until you know it like the back of your hand is neat. And yeah, I do pretty much always know where I am on the map and know how to get from place to place most of the time. It's really just some of the weird stuff around the barriers in here where I got a little weird. But like when I'm navigating the streets, I'm like, yeah, this way goes there, and like that stuff's cool. But one campaign is enough time for you to get that feeling. 3 campaigns, that's a lot. That's a lot of the same map, man. But yeah, games that were longer, I've spent more time with World of Warcraft, but that's multiple playthroughs technically. I spent more time with
The weapon security must be tight.
It's probably 1 or 2 Dark Souls games I've spent more time with, but that's also multiple playthroughs. I spent more time with The Witcher, but that's 2 DLC packs. 2 of the biggest DLC packs ever, for that matter.
The weapon security must be tight.
The Inquisitors ordered me to leave the town before the end of day. Why on earth did she do that? I've come up with a way to keep this town intact. All 3 of its parts, all 3 towns. The town of beasts, the town of men, the town of children. But she said that as long as she's alive, that won't happen. And no surprise. So you defied her plans. I think I have. She's bent on destroying the polyhedron. Yes. And the Bachelor was going to rescue this architect precisely in order to find out whether the tower's brittle groundwork could withstand bombardment if we had to level the residential areas. I know a way to preserve the town, but I need more time, a day at the very least. Indeed. This once again confirms that I was right about you. This is how a divine messenger would behave. I am your protector. Tell me what you want. I know a number of people who have already resigned to their impending death. They even believe they deserve it. All I need is to find several volunteers among the bound. How many do you need? 7 at least. I could put not 7 but 77 men at your disposal. No. For one thing, they have to be the bound. Not all people are the same. These ones have a rare blood type. Go, and look for the ones you need then. I'll order my soldiers to defend you. Should anyone dare make an attempt at your life, it's a shame that so few have remained loyal. And there'll be even less after we crush the revolt completely. But we will persevere. After all. Afterwards, come back to tell me. Afterwards, come back to me and tell me if you've been successful. You don't want to destroy the town, do you? No, I don't. I'm prepared to sacrifice my career in order to avoid raising and killing this town. Why? I was born and raised in a town like this one. Firing at it is torture for me. But that isn't the main reason. Is the main reason that you have a fucking conscience that goes beyond the fact that it looks familiar? I'm surprised to hear you talk like that. Everything in this town is precious. This place is symbolic. That which is below has left our world for good, having turned into lifeless bones, into museum pieces. That which is above will never come around again. It's a potential future that I don't want to lose. How do you know? The Haruspex has demonstrated the former to me, and the Bachelor the latter. Written into this town is the destiny of our entire country, and I feel the Creator is watching me now, as I'm making my choice. The part I am to play in this fate of this town will have an effect on the part I am to play in the fate of the country. I have felt the same.
I can't wait any longer.
Is that the end? My final journey lies ahead. It is time to reap what it was sown. The foreman was the first sacrifice. 6 more are needed. 7 sinners would be enough to save the town. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. That's a lot of them. Do I need to pick out? Do I need to locate and talk to all the sacrifices? This is a long day then, isn't it? Alright. Well, I still have like 7 hours, so we're fine. So I need to go around town and talk to all of the potential sacrifices from my bound. This will take a little while.